Twagiraho presidential advisors tine Christine Muhindo emanzi yo mukazi yo muri Kasese omu. Twagira Miss Christine Mugara, senior presidential advisor. Your Excellency twineho na cultural leaders abija kubugana. Twagiraho Mr. Barizare Kule Benson, Prime Minister wa Businga bwa Rwenzururu. Twagiraho Mr. Mijumbi Bitamazire, Prime Minister Banyabindi. Your Excellency twineho nabandi Ambassador Muhindo John, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Twagiraho Brigadier General Mawa Muhindo, military attaché Algeria. Emishozi yona ya Renzoli na ya Uganda yona eshazire mungwe gambe kandi bakwereza karuru nico rarebera abantu bijaha nyamwinji munonga. Ndashaba chairman NRM ahabwa Kasese oije oganirire Museveni presidential flag bearer kandi hamwe n'abantu bawe webare munonga.
Your Excellency, the President of Uganda and the NRM flag bearer, on behalf of NRM, fraternity and leadership, let me welcome you once again to Kasese. Your Excellency, the people of Kasese are willing, as you can see, ready to hear you, but importantly, ready to vote you. Your Excellency, I have a few things to put across, but most of them, Your Excellency, is to thank you for what you have done for the people of Konzo East. Your Excellency, in the area of education, your government has performed very well. By 1986, Bukonzo County East had 16 primary schools. As for today, we have 64 primary schools. Let us clap for the President. By 1986, we had only 3 primary schools, and as we stand, we have 8. Your Excellency, the people of Konzo East are requesting to move by the standards of per sub-county 1 secondary school. And they want St. Jude in Kitabo to be government granted. They are also seeking for city schools in Charumba sub-county and Mungonyu. Your Excellency, in the sector of health, we have improved. We used to have only 1 dispensary in the whole of this. As for today, we have 8 dispensaries in 10 sub-counties. We are missing a few of them in Nyakatonzi, Mungunyu, and Kitabo. Your Excellency, we want to thank you for that. Your Excellency, we had few roads here. Your Excellency, your government has opened up roads into the mountains. At times as security roads. Your Excellency, we are still faced with the challenge of road maintenance because road coverage in this area is so large, and the 1 billion given to the district may not be sufficient enough. Your Excellency, the people of Konzo West, East, requested for what they termed as a mountain transit security road that will move from Kilembe, traversing the mountains into Kitoru to ease communication, accessibility, and security. Let us clap for that. Your Excellency, the people of Konzo East, looking at the climatic change that we are facing today, are requesting for a major irrigation scheme to utilize the rivers of Nyamwamba, Nyamugasani and Kanyambara. They believe if this is done, we shall increase domestic food and food for export into DRC. Your Excellency, the people of Kasese and especially those of Konzo East have other issues of concern. They want to thank you, Your Excellency, for your efforts that you have always given to Obushagiki. More specifically, your efforts and directive to pension and give gratuity to those who served in Obote II government when they descended from the mountains as chiefs and administrators who were retrenched without due process. You directed, Your Excellency, that these people be paid. The Minister of Public Service gave us assurance that the next 5 months they will be cleared. In addition, Your Excellency, we want to thank you for the Kasimo you have directed the government to give the Rwenzururu veterans. Your Excellency, your people, the Banyabindi, are still waiting. You promise to resettle them and give them land. Your Excellency, I want to thank you specifically and on behalf of the people of Kasese for the placement and deployment you have given our sons. We want to thank you for promotion of Mr. Mbadi from a private soldier to a full general, and you made him a CDF for this country, as you have also made him a minister for state. Your Excellency, as the adaga goes, that where you meet the king, you shall always worship him. The people of Konzo East requested me to inform you and request you that as you continue considering them and showing your commitment for inclusiveness for all, the people of Konzo East also request that as you form government, you also consider them in a position of influence and decision making. Your Excellency, lastly, I want to comment on the issue of unresolved land conflicts, which you ably gave us directive in Kasese that the Prime Minister will be here to handle issue by issue. Your Excellency, as you see the numbers of people who have come here, there were some efforts who have mobilized them. The people of Konzo East decided to feed this multitude and gave us money, buruzo, and whatever goes on. On a special note, I wish to recognize and thank the district NRM executive. Wherever you are, you can rise and nod to the president. Your Excellency, on another note, I want to thank Gen.Mbadi. We have been with him here for some good time, mobilizing the people to support NRM. And also to thank Engineer Samson Bagonza. Surely you have done well. You have been with us here almost for 6 months, and I want to thank you. And your input on this rally can't go unmentioned. Your Excellency, I wish to thank Gen.Mbadi, Gen.Mawa, and Agri Volov, who gave us the rice that we ate and have employed so many people in their factories around here. Your Excellency, I want to thank Kagando Hospital that had provided health services in this district until you came in, and of recent you have elevated Nyabirongwe Health Center 3 to Health Center 4. I want to thank Mama Diana for your efforts. She has just commissioned it and has promised me that she's going to add more infrastructure. Your Excellency, let me thank Mr. and Ms. Asman. We managed to work at this with him. Your Excellency, we want to extend our deepest appreciation to you for your good visionary leadership and pledge massive support and mobilization to ensure peace and tranquility and development for Kasese. For God and my country, I am Ambassador James Mbahimba, NRM Chairperson, Kasese District.
Twachire okugamba kwa chairman witu habwa Kasese District yatumulikira ebikozigwe nebiraza kukogwa omutame yiturukuzamu tubyakire turabiterera mu ngaro munonga kandi yaturaganisa Bukonzo East kumuraza kutereza karuru kingi niko Bukonzo East kanyete SEC member with Engineer Jonad Asimwe aije aganirire n'abantu bechange eki kandi atwimukize omukundwa weitu Presidential Flag Bearer Yoweri Kaguta Museveni aturereze entanda eyaturetire ari kwija kanyanjure PDM National Coordinator Omwami Boni Kasheija ni wowe baresebo kwija kuvugana President weitu twineho undakora nawe omwenare Secretariat Omwami Capson webale kandi turasima munonga omulimo gorakora sebo engineer ija ogambe n'abantu bawe.
Kisinga oye! Kisinga oye! Rwenzururu oye! Kaguta oye! Ra! Nkwenda kubasima inywena mwebale okwija. Kande kya kabiri nkusima abategekere rale. Kande kya kasatu nkusima muzeyi okuba na malira byona ebyakya lero. There are 2 points ezokubazaho kandi inkinihira muzeyi ebigambo bino ajja kubihura. Protocol yona ngiyobuzavingire. Muzeyi tukusima habokuba ogarukire ogwa kabiri. Abantu babukonjo bakusaba oyije obabungire a historical place nambiri warugire okuhamba Kampala. Egyo bagyeta Kasangali. Nkusaba oyije otekeyo ekijukyo webale muzeyi. Ekya kabiri nkwijukya industrial park eya Kasese. Amasanyarazi ogakozere tuina megawatts ezikuhika 200 nezigwamu kandi 1000 turuina ekirukora hati nitukusaba otekeo industrial park Kasese abantu bafune emirimo. Rwenzururu oye! Kisinga oye! Muzeyi ninsembayo ninkumanyisa inti abantu babukonzo bakwenda muno ikireza nkuinvitinge oije obalize abantu bawo. Museveni oye! Kaguta oye! Wow! Tukwenda 15 Januari itwena tukome Muzeyi. Muzeyi oye!
Tutangiriri omushakulu nebyala kutsibu. Ebyala kutsibu tukatangira omushakulu tukatangira mushakulu. Ebyala tube.
Abantu ba Kasese bobukire Mwasinje, Vice Chairperson Western Uganda NRM,
ate Vice Chairman wetu NRM Western Uganda,
all the other leaders,
abalemi abandi abosi,
and the people of Kasese.
Nabandu abosi abe Kasese.
I have come here with other leaders from Kampala to present to you a summary of the manifesto of NRM from 2026 to 2031. In that manifesto, we point out what the NRM has done in the last 40 years. And we point out that NRM has put 7 matofali on the house of Uganda in the last 40 years.
Mukakanganibawa in the government NRM yamabihiraho amatafale musanjo okobuhimbe obwirihanga lyetu lye Uganda.
Matafali meaning contribution.
Amatafali chikamanyisaya eriongerako kuti erihirako.
The Nyankore word would be omuganda.
Echo mwalunyongore sichecho. Enganda eya NRM yamahiro kwa Uganda.
The Muganda was the traditional bunch of
grass, of spear grass.
Not grass, but Muganda, the sticks for building sticks. The house or yes, poles.
Building the house. Omuanda angana muanda wesiseke kuti muanda wemetri.
You use Muganda also?
Yes.
So,
omuhenzi kuti omuanda kuti omuhenzi owe NRM yamahiro ko bwimbe bwe Uganda.
Omuhenzi.
Omuhenzi.
Omuhenzi. Okay. Now NRM has put 7 Muganda.
Ati NRM yamabirehe mehenzi musanjo okobuhimbe bwe lihanga leno.
The first one is peace.
Echo kubanza bwobuholo.
Obukubanza.
Echo kubanza obuholo.
Obukubanza.
Obuholo checho kubanza.
You the people of Kasese are the best witnesses for peace.
Itwe abanyakasese tuli bakayisu okwa obuholo obwamabiri asomihanga mahana.
Because you know what
peace,
you know what peace means.
Munasi chobuholo bukamanyisaya.
And you know what lack of peace means.
Ke munachasi obuholo bwamabula echo chikamanyisaya.
You have seen it here in Kasese.
Kasese hano mwabe chelangira
and the Rwenzori in general.
No mwa Rwenzori yosi eretwalera hauma.
And you also live near Congo.
Kandi tulebaleranwa abe Congo.
So you should be the lecturers for peace.
Inywe mutoleri mwabini nywe basomesya abo buholo nga chikamanyisa yechi.
abarwenzori bebasomesya bobuhoro mu Afrika yose.
Wonderful. Aberwenzori itwe tulibasomesya abo buholo omu Afrika yose nga kikamanyisa yaki.
Abokano mumanya okutaba no businge kirukumanyisa.
Kundi munasindeke obuholo wa matende byaho bukatalibana ekya kikamanyisa ya.
Now this obuholo
buno
we are able to maintain because of two things.
Twamalekebwa byaho ahabwe bendo bebere.
Our politics of clear politics.
E politiki yetu kwitsi ebye poko byetu eberendeke.
Not poko. Ebyobulemi, translate ebyobulemi.
Ebyendema byetu eberendeke ebyendema.
Ebyendema byesu biyonjo.
Ebyendema byetu ni biyonjo berendeke.
Tibine munzulo.
Sibiwite bitivu, sibiwite mitiro.
The Uganda had a problem of lack of peace.
Uganda yabe yewete kitivu ekyobuholo eribula.
Because of bad politics.
Ahabo bwembembeti obutuwene.
Politics of identity.
Obwembembeti obwerigabanizyamo.
Iwo ogunoha.
Oyunende.
Umchikala kyo kaguza anagonza koraki.
Omwanya weribulya oyo angana kolachi.
Bakaguza ogunoha.
Itwa ibulya oyunende.
Nomukonjo, nomutoro, nomunyankore, nomuganda, nomukatoliki, nomuprotestanti, nomusalamu.
Erigabanizyamo oyunende, oyune mukristayo, oyune mukatoliki, oyune musilamu, oyune mukonzo, oyune mutoro, oyune munyangole. Erigabanizyamo.
That was the wrong question. And we were there. I'm very lucky to have been active for the last 65 years.
Awityo muisa eribya enyabini aneho omwami akangani tano ya maberehwa omwobwembembeti obo.
Mukereine obyaturikiro mu rukurato rwatoro kugenda mu Kisaka nkabandoho nindora anti.
Atebyetu ahabanya wetwenu balomalo kuratule toro bakahetuka abini aneho inyanabiya sebindro bya nabiya sindeke.
Ababona government kuyabaremere nkabandoho nimbarora.
Atiabosi ebyabya bilemire eni akabasamalira eni aneho.
Abokuba ko gamba nti iwo ogunoha.
Kundibwa iweribwa otibo oyunende nolyanende eriyabanizyamo omwashanganda.
Okabora kukaguza ekikaguza ekikuja ogunagonza kukoraki.
Wokalemwe eribulya ekibulyo oyu akanze erikolachi.
Aboku iwe noserera ekyo mugaso ekira kugasa.
Ewe utolerwa rondya ekyo muaso ekikendi kuwaticha.
Orakikola wena ni musima.
Owo kyo yuwanga kolecho sekike kuwaticha neruwa sima.
Kandi Yesu nuko yasomese mu Bible.
Nerisomeshere Yesu kolerere to mu Bible.
Orufumu orwa Musamariya omurungi.
Estore ngo kutunase bihandikirwe okwo Musamariya mubuya.
Umuseja kaba nagenda muhanda bamutera bamurekana batekereza ngo afwire.
Omulumi abini ane muwendo mwanzira bamamuswirya bamamuleka aho ngo alenga makuwa amaberhola.
Hati bishop mfarisayo kabari bishop akabariki.
Nero hamaso mufarisayo ambumba nyabi ya bishop oyiwasa yokabukala.
Akeja yamurabaho.
Amasama mulaba
umunyadini wa amani yamurabaho.
Keni wedini kutebe no wekisumbe amasama mulabako.
Umunyadini wa amani kandi oworuganda rwe.
Omunyadini owamani kandi owolwanda lwiwe amasama mulabako.
Yamurabaho yagende tiyamukonyera.
Mulabako shetamuwaticha iyo maenda.
Akawara ulijo na umuntu mukuru mukasuma kwa mweto omulevi.
Habi hani undi mulemi bakamuola mu mulevi omwabutuko obo.
Nawe yamurabaho.
Nayo amasa nayo mamulabako.
Heja omusamariya owedine ndijo Urugando rundi nuwe ya mkonyeire.
Hamasa omusamaria mubuya owe indi dini ni yo wabyasire ni yo wabyamuatikire kese wolwanda lwiwe.
Aho Yesu yabakaguza tumbantu bana basatu nga oyayambira onu noha.
Neho Yesu ababuliraya ati kwa bandu abasatu oyu wabyawatikirie omundu olya nende.
Now, therefore, when the NRM was clear against the politics of sectarian politics,
ati ibonga benyaremu ebyabu biterekerere okwobuherezya sibali okwobuherezya obwerigabanizyamu.
we were able to build a united party for the whole of Uganda.
Ati twabirihimba echama echere hauma omwa Uganda yosi.
And build a national army.
Nerihimba abasirikali aberihange ryosi.
Because when we were building army,
ati tukahimba mahe,
we don't ask your tribe
sibali kubulaya olwanda lwawo
or your religion.
Kwitsinga ukasoma dini ichi.
We ask you how well you can shoot.
Tukabulaya nga wangana lasa erihicha hayi.
Nateba kurungi ninga nateba kubi.
Aha, omwati siwoyo.
Echo nchi tukaguza.
Ati echo echabakabulaya checho.
Okuteba shoot.
Nga wangana toka nga unauti esaba okuteba.
Aha.
Nga unauti esaba.
That is Swahili. Now, that's how we have been able, because of a strong national party, because of strong national institutions like the army, that's how we are able to maintain peace.
Ate ahabwe rihimbe chama namani kande nerihimba mahe ndeke chechirekire etwaleta hobuholo.
Aba ADF bali Congo.
Ate aba ADF abasenu bakatutalabanizya baniye Congo.
Bete Uganda nibagirangiza hare baranzya.
Ate Uganda bakalangerera ya hare nga isirieria.
Okuzayo wano wafira muloge. Umuganda bwagamba nti wano wafira muloge. Ate
ukakwira buloge wama ilengesenya berenga ngebyo.
They stay there. They can't come. If they have tried to come, you know what has happened to them.
Ate baberibyeyo kunde bakaba kalengeseriasa bandashe chikaba byako.
So this is the contribution of NRM number 1.
Ate eryo niritafale eri NRM yamabite kwa Uganda eryo kubanza.
Second one is development.
Echakabere yengula kulana.
The roads,
eshanguda,
electricity,
amasanyarazi,
telephones,
simu,
water,
amaetse,
schools,
amasukuru, amatendekero,
health centers,
amasipataretu,
all those you know.
Ebyo shevingo kumunabyas.
Kundukwija hano kagando hano munda yensozi nkasanga ya masanyarazi nsemererwa muno.
Ati mwaseno ekagando kande mwatemire akalangira masanyarazi ini anamuhetukoro mwabetu.
Aboko iraga kabagatariyo.
Kundi hanyumaho enu yabisiri masanyarazi.
Tutwinewire kuberabo mbiona biri mufairo hano baitu bingi muno ibikozirwe.
Ati awite binene ebyamabere kolwa anenabyo mwachande kuchiwe angabere nyakabisoma obutuku bulye mukirira ya.
But the NRM from the 60s was very clear.
Ati NRM eromwa myaka yenga iyo bulengekania bwayo buterekerere.
We were clear that development is good for all of us.
Kundi erirengekania lyayo lyabinde engula kulana ni chibuya echitwebosi.
But at night, you don't sleep on the tarmac road.
Kundi omwachiro ibwasi tulikese ya kwanzera eyetwe yihalirendeke ye kolas.
You go back to your own house.
Kundi ukasubeka omwe nyumbe yawo.
And when you go back,
ukabukasubeka
the poverty you left in the morning,
obuna kobolyesi yeko mwanjacha,
you find it waiting for you.
ukasanga nibu nakulindire.
And it says welcome back.
kandi bwakutangirira buti wesinjeri subuleka.
We are still here.
Tuchina hano wesinjeri subuleka obunakwa bukakutangirira.
There is no sugar in the house.
Siri sukali eko mwa nyumba.
The clothes are not enough.
Esyanjimba sisiriunza.
The house is leaking.
Nyumba yekatoga.
And therefore we told people that you must be clear that yes, peace is there, development is there, but you must deal with poverty in your home.
Neryo mutu abwira abandu tuti kwenene ebyengulakulana chihikire betu iwengo mundu na utolerwa kolokwa bunakwa obu mwe nyumba yawo.
And that was our message when we were still students in the 60s, 70s.
Ati oyobi wo mwati owababya bakahererya abandu omwami akayengaga ebachenana balere.
And when we came into the government,
twabere twasomwa government,
we continued with that same message
twamende mbere nomwati oyo
of wealth creation.
Owerihiraho obugaga.
And in the manifesto
omwachahandiko chetu che NRM
of 1996, we said there are a number of steps each family needs to take.
Mutu ahirahwa madara awobulika yitoleria twala.
First step, stop producing for the stomach only, produce for the stomach and the pocket.
Eridare lyokubanza mutu obwatute tulime ebyeriria tulekera werelima ebyeriria bisa tulime nebikendihira kasente kumwisaho.
And secondly,
echakabere
do so with the chibaro.
Tukehaye echibaro tukihiremu tukolesaye echibaro omubya tukakola.
And that's when we proposed the 4 acres model for people with small pieces of land.
Chechaleka etwalete chirengekanyo echa eshahikini erikolese shahikini shandeke.
We said that if the land is already small, from 4 acres downwards, do the following.
Mutu abwatute wamawiti eritakaleke okwashahikini wanganaba nebyerekola ebirenga beno.
Number 1,
echo kubanza,
put an acre of coffee.
Wohere omwani ehika ngoma.
2, an acre of fruits.
Echakabere ehike yebiwuma.
3, pasture for cattle in the shed for milk.
Echakasatu wanganasi ehika ngoma eyeshande ahawangabukiha echikopo chamate.
Number 4, grow food for the homestead.
Ehike yakane wole mebyalya bwebya webyereria omwenyumba.
In the backyard,
mwalubu wabuga,
you put poultry for eggs.
Uhira akanyumba akeshangoko nuku wawo nemutunga komaya.
You put piggery.
Wanganahiraho neshambunu.
Then those who are near the wetlands,
abali hakuikuhi ne bisesa,
at the edge of the wetland,
hakuikuhi ne birenga bisesa ho,
do fish farming.
Uhire hechidibe chamahere.
If you do this, you will be very rich even when you are working in a small area.
Wa makolebyo ebyamatubuira eokende bya mugaga.
And those who have listened
abwaba mabiryo ko mwati oyo
have done well.
Bakabeyenderaku kwenene banemukola ndeke banendeke.
There is one good example of one of our young ministers, Byamukama of Bunyoro.
Ate hali ekyo wecherire lyako nemuwoma newe bunyorweyi.
My name is Fred Byamukama. I'm a member of Parliament of Bugangezi West Constituency, Kakumiro District. We are now at our 4-acre demonstration farm. The land we have here is approximately 4 acres. This is a farm we started 2 years back here, 2.5 years back. And on this farm, we have a half acre of pineapple, has 6 cows for zero grazing. We have poultry, about 25,000 birds, but only 11,000 are giving us eggs. And we have 1 acre of grass. We have piggery, those are very many. And 1 acre of coffee mixed with banana. Where we are, this is the 4 acre model farm. I did this activity to teach my voters, to lead by example, so that my voters can learn what measure the president tells the public. This is an initiative I learned from the president sometime back when he sent me to learn to Kaumu, to Kisozi. I copied what I copied, this is what I came up with. And you will see as we move, or that side, this side, that's my 4 acre model farm. The house as well, I don't sleep here, but if I would sleep here, the house as well is seated on this 4 acre model farm. When you look at poultry, out of the 25,000 birds, it's only 11,000 giving me eggs. Others are soon giving me, and I get 302 trays per day minimally, because 11,000 birds are supposed to give me 366 trays. But because of the feeding method of deep litter, I don't get all the eggs. I get 302 trays per day minimally. Then I sell in a month, you can get a net profit of 55 million, because you get 108 million, but you can't get all that. You have to buy feeds, pay workers, pay electricity. Remain with 55 million net pay. When you get the cows per month.
Ati murero wa kaiso bwabya mukama.
Ati twomo wa obwa kaiso bwabya mukama okwa omwatse owo mushakulwa lya tubwerako.
We don't have time to listen to the whole message.
Ahabo butuku amabwati berekero hwayo babitomwa bikuyi.
But you have already seen how he planted coffee.
Ati twamalangera ngokumwahera omwachitweka chiwuma mumwani.
He planted fruits.
Amahere biwuma omwachinde chitweka.
He planted pasture for cows in the shed.
Amahere biti ebye bisoro ebye bekalya.
And he has got a lot of pigs.
Kandi ni anatungire eshambunu senene.
Those ones he doesn't sell, he just gives free to the constituents.
Atinetu tutolere twakole biringa ngebi.
But there are cows there, you saw them.
Mwamukalangerana ndemo mukana langerana eshango komo mukasilangera.
But the chibaro we can focus on is the one of the poultry for eggs.
Ati chivaro echatukole kwitse chakayahanda kwengondo chechivaro echeretungesha ngoko nukuwatungamaya.
An activity he does in the backyard of the home.
Aha. Ati echivaro echeretungesha ngoko ewatungamaya chikawatikaya.
Doesn't need a lot of land.
Sichiri isunza omwanya munene yehe.
He's told you that he's getting 302 trays per day.
Amatubwera ati akatunga eshakureti shamaya esilabiro kwa 320.
And he gets 108 million shillings per month.
Akatunga eshasente esilabiro kwa milioni 18 omwezi kumu.
But when he deducts costs, he remains with 55 million.
Chotwangana chikola kisuta kolesha neshasente sinene kutsiweye.
55 million net per month.
Nerwa kabiri hako ebyali akolesa ya neruni asiyazya esha milioni sewe 58 omwezi kuuma.
If you multiply by 12, that's about 700 million shillings.
Omwamwa kamuuma nerwa kabini anawete sha sente esilabiro kwa sha milioni rusanju.
From eggs alone.
Amaya ni chindu echanganatuwa omwabunakwa.
Without adding the coffee, the milk and the others.
Kandi shalia hira kwebende kwa sente shaki omwani, omwabiwuma, nomwabende ngokutulya langera halya.
There's a man from Karamoja.
Haneno wundi owe Karamoja.
Let's see that man of Karamoja.
Akatukangana yo wundi owe Karamoja.
Mr. Korea Dick Ogira. I am a model farmer in Abim district. My village here is called Arangetoy West. Arangetoy Parish, Abuk Town Council, Abim District, in Karamoja. The mango trees you are seeing here were given to me by the President through Operation Wealth Creation. I received 200 mango seedlings, and I planted all, and they are all doing well. Apart from this venture, I got money from PDM last year. I got 880,000. And I used 800,000 for buying 10 goats. And the goats are there. They have multiplied. They are now 16. Part of the money of PDM I used for buying cassava stems. Through that money, I've managed to plant 2 acres of cassava. They are now doing well. The first acre I intend to harvest next year in January. Then for the mangoes you are seeing, I started harvesting last year in 2023. The first harvest, I got 6 million. That was in June. Then second harvest in November, I got another 6 million. So last year, from these mangoes, I got 12 million shillings. I've been selling to the people around. Actually, Soroti Fruit Factory has booked this mango. They want me to take these mangoes tomorrow, 2025, to the factory. Actually, I've been selling locally. I've been selling 1 at 500 shillings, 2 1,000. And people are buying. These mangoes are very good. The mangoes trees you are seeing here are giving me money, a lot of money. And I want to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Kaguta Museveni, for coming up with the idea of Operation Wealth Creation in the country. This is money. I am not going to suffer. My children will not suffer because of this wealth. I call it wealth now. I always harvest. I don't harvest mango. I harvest money, not mangoes. So I want to thank our President so much. And next year, if all goes well, I expect to get 18 million first harvest. And then second harvest, I also expect to get 18 million next year, 2025. So altogether, I expect to get 36 million shillings. And this money now I will use for
the testimony
from
this man from very far, Karamoja. That's about 700 miles from here. Far away from the tarmac roads. But he's got wealth there. The development is not so much. No tarmac roads. The electricity is there now at least. But other things are not as good as here. But he has got wealth now. From one of the 7 activities we recommended in 1996, so when I look in the file here, the government has been giving you free materials to do exactly like he did.
erikola ebyomulumi oyu anemukola ebyatwamalangera.
We gave him 200 trees of mangoes, and he's very rich because of those.
Ate muba moha ebiti nabekome bibere byemiyembe betuusamalira obugaga obwebiri hamu.
But here in the file, Kasese got 17 million seedlings of coffee.
Kasese eno omwafayiru yiwe mutu atunga esya milioni 17 esyembibo eyomwani.
Milioni 17.
Milioni 17.
Very good. Now mangoes, like the ones of the Karamajong.
Emiyembe eyabalya tukangana ya
777,000.
Emitwalo sanju na musanju embuto eyemiyembe.
Emitwalo sanju na musanju.
Emitwalo sanju na musanju.
The citrus, oranges, 400,000.
Emitsungwe emitwalo 40 embuto.
Apples, 639,000.
Esya apple emiti mitwalo mukaga na kenda. Mitwalo ngaga na kenda.
And apples are much richer than even mangoes.
Kandi ibwe esya apple esyo sikaleta obugaga kukira n'emiyembe.
So therefore, it is very important for people to really wake up and know how to get out of poverty.
Ate nichikulu erelangerende tukabuka tulo mwabunakwa.
The NRM, what the NRM has been telling you is not a story. It is correct. If you do it, you will get out of poverty.
Ebye NRM yekatubwera sibyeriteberezie yese sitore ebyabulikiro bino wamabenderako itukilo mwabunakwa.
Here in Kasese, we need to add irrigation.
Kasese eno tutolere tongerako irrigation ngokutunabyasi.
And in all other parts of the country.
Nokumwabende betsweka ebyerihangale no.
I can show you the example of irrigation.
Atakatukangada yechereleberyako irrigation kwitse area no mwabutukongomese area omwabutukobosi erikolisha amazi.
This is where our model plantation is. Plantation which you've had, we've already gone beyond 50 tons of yield per hectare per year. Matoke is very important part is water, but especially in the dry season. So here we are using irrigation, drip irrigation, as you can really see, using water, especially in the dry season. Drip irrigation, the advantage with it is that it sends water where it is required. PBD does not depend on national water. We make our own water, which we pump every day. 90% of the water is used for irrigation, and the other 10% is processed for use in pilot plant and estate residential areas. This farm, as per NEMA allows us to use a third of the water flow. But in the dry season, we even just use 12% of the water flow. So there is still enough water which we can pump. We've already finished the feasibility study to distribute the same irrigation water to the farmers, mainly along the water pipeline. So the structures you are seeing here are mainly to do primary filtration of the water. You have seen the color of the water through that aeration. It's our water in the western region is full of iron. So we always reduce the iron content by passing it through the air. Each of these pumps 40 cubic meters per hour, and it has a lift height of 140 meters. That's why we are pumping it 110 meters from here. Where we are standing is 110 meters below the reservoir where it is being pumped. You see these ready tanks? Those ready tanks are full of sand. To again continue the filtration of the water. We are using drip system, which uses very, very fine water. We should not be having any floating particles to block the system. Many people, when they hear His Excellency talking about 53 tons, people wonder if that's possible or not.
No,
you'll be able to see.
That example is in Obushenyi. There's a government experimental plantation. We irrigate there. And we use fertilizers. Orwezo, ekijimusa.
Itwakolesya ebikakulakulaya ebyalya. Omuboga. Itwakolesya omuboga erikulakulanya ebyalya luba.
Because of that, we harvest 53 tons per hectare.
Neryo tukagesa esyatani makumi atanunini omwabulihika.
The nearby Banyankole,
banyoni betu abakuikuhya Banyankole,
harvest only 5 tons.
Bawite store yabo eyesyatani 5.
So I harvest 10 times more than those Banyankole there.
Iyo akahuluka ya venene emirundi 5 kukira Abanyankole balya.
Emirundi 10.
Emirundi 10 kukira Abanyankole bali bye bakahuluka ya.
Ugo mseje nategeza kuti kumanya rukonjo. Ugo mseje nategeza kuti kumanya rukonjo. Rukonjo ni ruhura mbaza runyankole mundumi yanyu.
Atiaka olunyangole no olukonzo akalo wandeke.
And you use some of the old words which people don't use so much now.
Ati ebinywe bikulu abandu ebiro bino sebakibikenga. Obuholo.
That's old Runyankole.
Ati olo nelulimi lolunyangole lwakera obuholo.
But it's real Runyankole.
Ati olo nelunyangole lwenyine.
So this is what we are going to add on.
Ati echo nicho tukayongerako.
Now this is the third tafari NRM has put on Uganda.
Ati eryo ni tafari erya kasatu NRM yamabirihiro kwa Uganda. Oyo ne muhenze owa kasatu owe NRM yamahiro kwa Uganda.
The Uganda is richer now. We've got a lot of production, more than before.
Ati Uganda nenyegaga kutsibu kukira enyumango kuyabya.
As a country.
Iyongeri hangeri yoseretwala rahawumu.
More coffee,
omwani aberekanya,
more bananas,
amatoke aberekanya,
more cows,
esyande syaberekanya,
more maize,
ate ebikusa byaberekanya,
more sugar,
esukali yaberekanya.
Everything is more.
Obuli kindu ekyo si kyaberekanya.
But the problem is that there are some of our people who are still outside.
Ati ekitsibu kirende abandi abokuitwe bakinie yihya.
And this is what we are struggling with.
Echo nicho tuleko erlangera tutitobo si tuendera hauma.
But the tafari has been put and Uganda is much richer now.
Omuhinzi oyo NRM yabirihira woho Uganda hatya nenyegaga kukira inyuma ngo kuyabya.
Now the fourth tafari,
omuhinzi owakane,
is jobs.
Yemibiri.
Now these governments in Africa, when you see them collapsing,
ate esha government eshetu sho mu Africa sende esha ukalangera sikatera,
even other parts of the world,
no mwabende bitweke byechuwo kino,
they are not able to answer the questions.
Hani ebibulye bekabalemere subamo.
Because you have heard the questions we have been asking since we started here.
Mwama biryowe bibulye betule tukayibulya itwerilo hatwasera.
How do you get peace?
Ukatunga uti obuholo.
If you bring sectarianism, you will never get peace.
Wa matendiko lesya magezi esuwe shatunga obuholo.
Now, we are now answering the question of how do you get wealth?
hatya tulyokwisuba omwakibulyo obugaga tukabutunga tuti.
Now we have gone from there to how do you get jobs?
Neritomayenda kwa chende ibwe emibiri tutunge ya tuti.
Some people say government.
Abandu banene abandi bakabwambwe government yetule yetu emibiri.
That's a wrong answer.
Ekyo sikihikire risisuba mwirihikire.
And if you take that, you will be lost.
Wamatwala ekyo uti government yetule yetu emibiri nerukabu wa matala.
And the country will collapse.
Nerihangire kende ewa isiriende mbere.
Yes, government has jobs.
Kwenene government ina uti emibiri.
But they are few.
Betu nemeke.
Population is very big.
Abandu twamaberekanya.
And in any case, it's not good to have a country where the majority of the jobs are government jobs.
Neribwa kandi sichihikire eretunga erihanga aha bandu abanene bamanire okwo mibiri ye government.
Because government mainly consumes money.
Government kukera munu iyo yikali esya sente.
Administration.
Omwabyendema.
But we want work which produces wealth.
Ati sitwangakola tukabya abagaga.
Let me show you where productive jobs are.
Akatukangana ya ali emibiri eyatwangakola yikatuomwa bunakwa.
Let's see Basangwa of Kamuli.
Hali eyakatukangana ya owe Kamuli.
Nze Basangwa Johnson, Managing Director wa Jaka Poultry Farm. Jaka Poultry Farm eyaganibwa Bukwenge, Kamuli Municipality, Kamuli District. Mu 2007 twatandika obulunzi nga tutandikira mu Kamuli Town Council by then mu plot yali 50 feet by 100 feet. Ezo futi 5 ku 10 eda itaka. Tutandika tutya twali nga tulina ebyobufuzi wano mu Kamuli nga waliwo ensonga nga chairman wero C5 omugenzi kawuga bamwidukira katonda mu ekyumulo ekyemirembe nga bamutwoiremu abantu banja abatamu application nga bali kwenda okufuuka ba chairman ba 5. Ai president yaida yatulungamya yakuba tibana abantu mwena temusobola kuba ba chairman ba 5 aye abantu mujje mukole emirimu egindi ng'okulunda yayogera kulunda embidi okulunda enkoko byonna bena yabyogera. Nze napikinga mu ekyokulunda enkoko n'atandika farm mu 2007 n'enkoko 5. Sawa dino wendogerera ku farm kuno tize mabega ntambwire. President yaida yankyalira mu 2010 nga nina enkoko 5,000 yasanuka ino. Sawa dino tutambwire tulina enkoko 12 tufulumya amagi etule 2,000 buli lunaku. Etule 2,000 divaamu milioni 2 buli lunaku. Omwezi diva milioni 6. Omwaka tuba tuli mu bilioni ze 6 n'ekitundu etuba tukola ki tuingiza. So tuwulirisa omulamwa gwa president okuva ku kiseera ekyo twakati katukigiireko. President abaire musanhufu ino ku bintu byenkoze era nga buli kaseera nkyekingaku. Wendogerera kati tulina abakozi 300 betukozesa wano ku farm tuwezaawo 10.
Now Basangwa has helped us to answer 2 questions.
Ati amatuwa ticha erisuba mu mbibulyo bebere yakasangwa.
The first question was, where does wealth come from?
Ekibulyo ekyo kubanza obugaga bukalwa hayi.
And he has answered that he took one of the 7 which we proposed in 97.
Ati yomwakola kiwuma okwa ebyaba omwabutuku bulya makolire kwa choma kwa bendo musanju.
He took only the poultry for eggs.
Mwatwere eche shangoko eshamaya.
And he was a poor boy.
Kandi abishawute sente inimoju shawute sente ye.
He had only a plot in Kamuli town.
Abya uti eporo tinginsa omwatauni ye Kamuli.
Of 50 feet by
50 kwa chekome.
That's all the property he had.
echo nicho byawite kuchisa.
But from the eggs,
beto erilo mwamaya
is now selling 2,000 trays of eggs per day.
Hatia kaula ye esyakureti shamaya esilabiro kwangu mibiri obulichiro.
And he's getting 20 million shillings per day.
Akatungesha milioni makumi abiri obulichiro.
600 million in a year.
Esya milioni rokaga omwaka.
No, 600 million in a month.
Milioni rokaga omwokwezi kuuma.
7.2 billion in a year.
Esya milioni rosanju
a
B. Esya bilioni musanju ne milioni bekome bebere omwaka mumu.
So he's a very rich man now.
Hatiane mulume muda mugaga.
And he tells you that when I went there in 2007, 2007,
ngumi biri no musanju,
they were fighting for the job of LC5.
Abia naini akaronda ya atebamo kome okwacha LC5.
And I said, you people, you can't all be LC5 chairperson.
Neroma bahabula tinywebo sisi mwangabya bachama LC5.
Why don't you do other things?
Habwache motakolebende.
And for him, I told them what I'm telling you, what I've been telling everybody all these years.
Neri mwamu wera ebya matubwire ebikene byolu nyane mutubwire nyane mubwira bule mundu mwihanga muno.
For him, he chose eggs.
Iyo neri mwatuamu ati akekolesha ngoko eshamaya.
You see how rich he is now.
Musamalere obuuda obwale.
But his wealth
beto obuuda bwiwe
has created 300 jobs for other Ugandans.
Obuuda bwiwe bwamabire emibiri y'abandi bandu bekome besatu abanya-Uganda.
So Basanga, who was not employed himself,
iyo yakasangwa yowabishawite mubiri,
is now employed,
aberefu ngo mubiri,
but he's also employing another 300.
Kenayo abereha abandi b'emibiri abalengerene bekome besatu.
Now that is commercial agriculture on a smaller scale, how it can create wealth and jobs.
Obo bulime obukatuleteresha sente kine bulime buke musamalere ngo kubukatuho bugaga omundu ni agaga ni atunge sente.
Create wealth and jobs.
Ewa tungo bugaga kewe irahune mibiri abandu batunge mibiri.
Let's see manufacturing now.
Tutasaleba yo wonde owebiri hulucha.
Now, that big town you see
is a
new town.
Ni town mbiaka.
Near Mbale.
Hakuikuhina Mbale.
It is a town of factories only.
Ni town ya factories sasa.
It has got 75 factories.
Yewite sha factories anjuni tano.
But if you go, let's go inside one of them.
Tutasamalera tutengero mwangu maya yutusamalira mwekati.
Very good. So you can see how many young people.
Wanganalangire munalangire abana balere eminyetu abalemo bakakoleramu.
That are employed there.
Eminyetu eyamabitungira mu mibiri.
So that is another source of jobs, manufacturing.
Bibyeri ulucha na yuningeri ngoma eyikatuletere mibiri.
So I'm glad you are now demanding from me an industrial park for Kasese.
Amatema ati tukamusaba tutie Kasese batukolere likolero lyangatuha ebibiri abana betu twangatunge mibiri.
You are now talking real economics now.
Ate hati amole kubua oluleme lwiwe lonyine nyine olwesha sente iyo lwakatuha bulamu.
And you are now confirming what we told you many years ago.
Kandibwa mtu wa mahika okwecho chonyine nyine ebyal byakatubwira emyaka yamabere laba.
Because you remember you the Bakonjo.
Kundibwinywe Bakonzo
and the Basongora.
Na Basongora.
And the Banyabindi.
Na Banyabende.
And even the Banyankore on the other side.
Na Banyangole elutambieria.
You said we want to go into the park here.
Mubwa bate epaka yinwe ye hano.
What is the park for?
Epaka anu yikakola hachi.
Let's go and grow sweet potatoes there.
Twende tuyalemere yebitakuli ebiribwa.
Tulime ebiribwa.
Tulime ebiribwa.
Then I said, you people,
amabwati binywe batambi.
If you want your country to survive,
mwamanzeri hanga rebyeho.
You must plan.
To planinge twire mwamenge.
Where you grow ebiribwa.
Ahere ebiribwa.
But also where you do like tourism, which is another form of wealth.
Naha akebya byoburambure kenayo ningeringu meyere tungera mu bugaga.
It is in the sector of services.
Yerio omwachitweka eche byobuherezia. Obuherezia.
So the park is not like me, Museveni, who has got milk and I sell you milk and you drink it.
Pake yo si ringi yo ngokwa ute shandesiwe akakuhasho ukasikama.
But they help people in another way.
Ye wite ngokuika watika yabandu.
People come ukushamarra, enyamwisho ukushamarra.
Abandu bakasi bakolesha meswe basamalera.
And he pays for the kushamarra.
Neri basasura habwe samalera tu.
Umzungu ija shamara.
Omusungwini asini asamalera.
Tumuragarisi sente.
Neri twamusaba kasente bale twesende wamabere samalera.
Okumuragarisi. Okumuragarisi to make him drop money.
Neresha sendi shikale sene mutrowe sene mwasa konde bakase basamalera nero batwa kasente eketuka trowe.
Where he slept he pays.
Ukakesa ya inyatuhao.
The food he eats he pays.
Ebyali alya binyatuha.
The taxi he rides in he pays.
Ne motoke yamaendamu na inyatuha.
The water he uses, the electricity he uses, he pays.
Ameta walia kolesa ya masenyereze walia kolesa ya na unyatuha.
If he came with $10,000,
amasane sha dollars we mutwalo.
By the time he goes back, we have make tuamaragarche Canaan.
Akabya kasubayo etwamabere muhako esika ikanga Kanani twamabiri muhashoko omwe byakenda katuha.
And tourism
ebye buramburi ebyo
has been earning more than coffee most of this time.
Bilwe bikatwingirira kutsibu kukira no mwani omwabutukubu nene bwa malabo.
Even globally, tourism
kandi bwana omwachiwe chosi ebyo burambure
is bigger than all the coffee business.
Nibinene kutsibu erisinga ebyo mwani eringiri eryo mwani eryo suwa malira haumerera.
Therefore, the future of Kasese in my head when I'm planning.
Erelangira engula kulana kandi Kasese nga eyatukanza nga iriyita iyongo kwa kachisamalera.
The wealth,
obugaga,
and the jobs
nemibiri
are from 3 sectors.
Nebendobe kulukutsebu.
Number 1, commercial agriculture.
Erelima erekende tuletera obugaga.
Okulima nokulisa.
Erelima nerilisha nokubyanga tuletera obugaga.
That's one form of wealth.
Choni chiwuma okwachike tuletera obugaga.
Tourism, especially services, especially tourism.
Ebyo buherezya kukera mono ebyo burambure.
Wildlife and
ebyo bisoro byetu byo mwapaka
and mountaineering.
No mwabetu erehetuka bakasambe betwa.
Then the third one,
echakasatu,
manufacturing.
Ebyo eriulucha.
So this is the fourth safari.
Yone muhinzi wakani.
But when we apply to Kasese, those are the main points.
Kandibu atukatuka chisamalera ahabwe akwa Kasese eno ebyo bikulu kutsibu.
Now finally emyoga.
Echeri unzererayo ebyo emyoga.
In order to do all this,
eri tutokeshere kolebyo sibeno.
You need to have omwoga.
Obule mundu utolere watunga omwoga wawu.
Omwoga is an old Nyankole word which I brought out and I gave it to Uganda and I said it means specialization of life.
Ati ni chinywe cholo Nyangole chakera echachireta machiretera ba Uganda ekikamanyisa ya kituwutolere wabane chao kakola omwa Uganda mono mu bumizi bwawo
okuhesha
erehesa
okubaija carpentry
erevatsa
okunogora ceramics ibumba okunogora
eribumba.
These were all emyoga.
Eyo ni myoga.
And I've introduced the issue of emyoga in the whole of Uganda.
Neryo omwabutuko bwa hanyuma bwa malaba mwaka nachireta omwa Uganda yosi.
I have got a school here for those emyoga for skilling up. I don't know whether those children are here.
Kasese aberelete sukuru eyikagesa ya ebyebyala ebyemyoga ebyo atyakabula yanga hane abauma kwa bamabirisomero mwa sukuru eyo eyeto ya president eyire Kasese.
Are those children here?
Hanu hanyabo kwibo. Yes, there are some, Your Excellency. I can see some hands.
They are not organized.
Yes, they are not organized.
So therefore, with these are 4 bricks out of the 7.
Eyone mehenzi ini okwa musanjo eyeni aremu yamabirihiro kwihanga leno.
The matafa, these are 4 bricks out of the 7.
Ayone matafali ane kwiti mehenzi ini okwa musanjo ebye government eyeni aremu yamabirihiro kwa Uganda.
And that's why we say, you people of Uganda,
nichoche kale kini ya bwati inywe abanya Uganda,
support NRM in these elections.
Vatami tukome NRM mwabukome buno.
So that we continue moving forward.
Nuko tuangalole yende mbere.
Because what NRM is telling you is not stories, it is things that have been done and you can see them.
Ebye NRM yikabuga nebindu bilangirikire ke wangana belangira. The
day after in 2 days, I want you to support the NRM. So that we consolidate what we have done. I have noted all the other issues you have mentioned. The road maintenance equipment, Kasese needs more road equipment and more money for the Maram roads.
Kasese yikayusunza ebyuma ebekale meshangoda meshasente risikanya esikashale meshangoda Kasese.
Because it is a big district.
Kundi district yetu nenene.
Pensions for the Rwenzururu people, I have noted it.
Akasimo akabanya Rwenzururu betu. Ako avereka hambandeke akasimo kabo.
Settling Banyabindi, I have noted it.
Songe ya Banyabindi nayo avera handekayo.
And the memorial coming to the Katebwa, those areas where we were fighting, as having something there. We had been there before, but we can come again.
Ate eyahikira ekatebwe ngokubalya chibuwa vice chairperson nacho avere chahandika akandisha sovola avere chahandika.
NRM oye!
NRM oye!
Omugurusu wenkofira oye!
Omushakulu wesepe oye!
Omushakulu wenkofira.
Omushakulu wesepe oye!
Kasese oye!
Kasese oye!
Uganda oye!
Uganda oye!
Africa oye!
Africa oye!
Mwasinja kutsibu.
Wasinja kutsevu, watu mwasinja kutsevu. Wasinja tata.
Abantu ba Bukonjo East, Kasese katwachire okuganira kwa president weitu nengaro nyingi munonga. Your Excellency, webale kunda Uganda yona obutaruha, webale okwejesa obutaruha, webale kwendeza tweno bugeyiga kandi okatushomesa turasima munonga. Obwahati Your Excellency naza kwanjurira abine bendera omuli Kasese kandi kambanze na Bukonzo East twine Mande Road Julius niwe twaherize flaga your excellency mwenu ojimuhereze omubutongore Mande oye Okusinga oye kandi twagira Sara Baleke Itungo nkamemba wa parliament omukazi okwasire bendera ahabwa Kasese district Sara oye Itungo oye Baleke oye kandi twagira Honorable Dr. Crispus Chiyonga ahabwa Bukonzo West Chiyonga oye Kadashap oye twagira kandi LC5 oine flag ahabwa Kasese omwami Muhindi Erifazi Bukombi Bukombi oye Bukombi oye Your Excellency wazakweteza ekishani na ba flag bearers kandi baba baraheza ekishani kirakurateho necha DEC members ahabwa NRM bakurate abatayesimbire omukarura kawire akurateho abandi okunda abashoborore konko bwa hati arikweteze ekishani na ba flag bearers oye na President Museveni ine flaga ya President oye ebironi 15 ahagwa kana mucherekare bona mubaterere akaruru bas muterere basi yonka obwa hati President weitu alikutera ekishani na ba DEC members ningashi abarakurira ekibina kya NRM ahabwa district yaitu ya Kasese mwebale mobilization yamani eyimukozire turasima emishozi yona turareba yatenga mwebale katubaterera umungaro twakurasaho abatayesimbire as independence baba bari hehi mwijeni imwe mworeke NRM kumwagizire emichwe mirungi mukale mwakwesimba nko muntu nyabuntu kandi muri aba NRM mwebale turabasima munonga twaza kurasaho ekishani cyaba Prime Minister beitu babiri abari aha twineho Warren Zururu Baritazale Kule Benson ahabwa Businga bwa Renzururu kandi tshibeteze n'ekishani cha Prime Minister ahabwa Banyabindi Mijumbi Bitamazire abana bebembezi beitu habyo buhangwa kandi batungo mugisha go kutereshani na President baza kuratwa ba converts ningashi abantu abagaruka omunju yitu ya NRM kandi turaza kushembesa ba religious leaders nimwe muhike hihi kandi nimuraza kukomera ebishani ebiturayeteze na President Elizoba abantu ba Bukonzo East abantu nyamwingi barayikanka bitano baruga omubibine bindi batwegitaho ngutwena tugendo mu basi President Museveni ni wa muvuji wa basi katubachire nengaro nyingi munonga NRM juu President Museveni flag bearer juu zaidi abana babona wabo bagaruka muko wabo bebale kwija nabasigarayo mu biheyo bukonjo yona tugende na basi esi yite tunguke kushiraho programu za government tuzacire n'amani tubase kutunga ngundo nyinji nungi amashanyarazi amizi ebyamagara ebyabana bitu kushoma ebyobugeyiga bwo munshaho PDM oye Museveni oye abahinduka oye mwebale kutwegitaho Kasese mwabonera basi mwebale kubonera mwebale kutwegitaho 2015 mucerekare muterere muzayi wenkofira n'aba MP ba Fraga kare murujeho kandi tweteze cyane kindi n'aba religious leaders ningashi abanyadini beitu konka abahinduka muragarukayo mwebare turabasima NRM abagaruka mu NRM turaza kutemba basi amoye mwebare kwakira enjiri ya NRM kandi mukagaruka omuka azamahikayo mukore n'abambaka ganyu abanyabuzare banyu abatahi banyu twena tugirira karimwe eryentunguka ahabwa burungi bwa Uganda yitu ayitwarabireho na omu Western Uganda turenda kwereza President Museveni 9.8 mwenu ni imwe abakasese togeraho munonga ha percent President hati yaiteze chani n'abebembezi beitu abo mu madini turakusima munonga President ahabo kutugarikanisa twena tukaba akarya kamwe tukaba enyinemwe webare no businge ruhanga ayebare no Zay is going to speak. Zay is there.
ati abamasa abamatuyungako abakalomu abitebe byenupu ne FDC akabahabula mwende omwa siasako shetu esiri okwitwale mukende sanganayo benzi betwa benyaremu abalu banemo ati akindi ongera mwesha sente omwa siasako shetu esyo ati eriawo ko milioni 10 akindi ongera mwesha sente isya bya milioni 10 ati abana betu abamalomo abindi bitebe tubayikaye ko boherezi obo tulekere batu betako ati mbasija kotibu
anthems.
Every time they